Zenitsu approaches a room and calls for the being inside to come out. They only respond that Zenitsu's beckoning is the improper address to a senior. Kaigaku walks out and taunts him for being as dainty and as seedy as ever. Zenitsu responds back, however, that as a demon, Kaigaku is no longer his senior. As Tanjiro and Giyu continue through the castle, the former nearly falls through an open floor, commenting that the building is seemingly trying to separate the two. While wondering how long Tamio can withstand Muzan, and unsure of their exact location, a Kosugai crow announces that Shinobu Kocho has encountered and was killed by the upper rank too. While Tanjiro holds back tears, Giyu notices that the crow has a piece of paper on its neck. In the new Demon Slayer's headquarters, Karaya Ubuyashiki has become the new head of the organization as the only remaining male, doing so at the age of only 8. He is supported by his sisters Kurenai and Kanata. Despite the deaths of his parents and 2 elder sisters, he willingly hasn't grieved them in order to focus on the mission. Kurenai and Kanata also hold back their emotions to also aid him. Their father, with his short lifespan, was strict, raising them quickly into adults as quickly as he could. The elder sisters, Hinaka and Nichika, had never left their father or mother's side. Their mother was also kind but strict in raising them. The 3 each have one of Yushiro's talismans, helping them map out the Infinity Castle. Karaya notices the lacking information they need and suggests telling the crows to spread as many eyes as they can. Kurenai decides Muzan hasn't left from his place and instructs Karaya into guiding them north to face him. She mentions the only demon slayers currently facing Upper Moon demons are Kanoa and Zenitsu, the latter now facing their new upper rank 6. Zenitsu and Kaigaku face off, mocking Zenitsu as puny and weak, scoffing at his status as a Hashira since he is only able to do one form. Zenitsu retaliates though by mentioning how happy his former superior seems as the bottom upper rank, leaving Kaigaku stunned at his barbed comment. Zenitsu questions him on how he could have turned into a demon, but when Kaigaku tries to answer, Zenitsu cuts him off and continues saying, why would someone posed to acquire thunder breathing become a demon? Zenitsu angrily yells that Jigoro had committed seppuku by himself upon hearing what Kaigaku had done. And Zenitsu gets angered, telling him that someone was actually meant to assist him at that act, but instead he died an agonizing death all alone. All because a user of the thunder breathing became a demon. Kaigaku scoffs at the news and asks him if he's meant to be sad or repent, unapologetically refusing to care. He declares he will always stick to those who value him. He states he is glad Jigoro died a painful death, angered at all his efforts to please him never led to him being named his successor, and insults him further by scoffing at his idea of sharing the successorship with dirt and calling the former Hashira senile. Zenitsu furiously tells him that if he was dirt, Kaigaku was garbage, since he can only use the first breath and Kaigaku never managed to learn it at all, commenting that Jigoro only died a miserable death because he wasn't lucky enough to have a true successor. Kaigaku angrily tells Zenitsu though not to lump him in with the likes of himself, and unleashes the thunder-breathing 4th form, Distant Thunder, sending lightning at the Demon Slayer. However, Zenitsu had already avoided the attack and slashed the demon's neck, mocking him, telling him that he is too slow and that he was filth, leaving Kaigaku stunned, wondering why his opponent seems like a completely different person. Kaigaku then remembers his unfortunate encounter with the upper rank 1, Kokoshibo. He comments, it isn't shameful to kneel before an overwhelmingly powerful foe, recalling when he quickly surrendered to the demon. He believes as long as he is alive, he can always do something, even if he has to scrape his head on the ground, drink dirty water, or steal to survive. In a flashback, we see that Kokoshibo offers a portion of Muzan's blood from him if he wants to become more powerful, and if Muzan accepts him, he can take a place among the upper ranks. Kokoshibo advises him that it takes time to become a powerful demon, as powerful as a strong swordsman. And at that, he gives Kaigaku a large amount of blood since he's also a breath user. He tells Kaigaku to be thankful for the blood he is given, but threatens to behead him should he spill a drop. At that time, his whole body was terrified before his transformation, but now facing Zenitsu, Kaigaku's fear is non-existent. He is assured, no matter how powerful he is, Zenitsu cannot beat an upper rank, declaring everybody has to die eventually, and saying Jigoro and Zenitsu are no exception. Kaigaku uses thunder-breathing 2nd form, Rice Spirit, to kill him. Zenitsu takes notice of his 5 simultaneous attacks, deducing he must have eaten numerous people already. He asks the demon if he knows right from wrong, but Kaigaku responds that those who accept him are right and those who don't are wrong. As he uses the thunder-breathing 3rd form, Thunder Swarm, he then uses thunder-breathing 5th form, Heat Lightning, hitting Zenitsu and burning him. As he asks his former swordsman how he likes his newfound demon-enhanced forms, Kaigaku follows up with more thunder-breathing 6th form, Rumble and Flash, hitting him again with numerous slashes. As Zenitsu falls after being hit, he remembers back to his days training alongside Kaigaku. Ironically, Zenitsu only managed to do the 1st form. Kaigaku was able to do all of them but the first of the thunder breathing techniques. Zenitsu knew deep down that Kaigaku was never going to be a Hashira. One day, Zenitsu had hit a senior demon slayer and Kaigaku reprimanded him, then mocked him for doing so. He knew Kaigaku virulently hated him. Zenitsu himself also hated Kaigaku greatly. But despite this, he genuinely respected Kaigaku for his work ethic and drive, and despite his place as special with Jigoro's students, it never satisfied him. Finally, he considered Kaigaku's feelings like a box of happiness in his heart. His happiness always leaked through, and he must always close that box to feel satisfied. Apologizing to Jigoro and Kaigaku, Zenitsu lands on the wall and stops his fall. As a confused Kaigaku looks on, Zenitsu uses his thunder-breathing 7th form, Honokazuchi no Kami, and speeds upward, decapitating Kaigaku in that moment. As the aberrant demon becomes enraged that he never saw it coming, he curses his former master for teaching Zenitsu something he never knew, and playing favorites. Zenitsu replies though that Jigoro was never such a person, and that he actually created this form for the day that he would fight alongside him. After Zenitsu beheads Kaigaku, they both fall in the Infinity Castle to their deaths. Zenitsu plummets unconsciously as the disintegrating Kaigaku grows furious from his defeat at Zenitsu's hands. He comforts himself with the idea that Zenitsu will die with him when they hit the floor until Yushiro comes to save Zenitsu, while coldly reminding Kaigaku that without friends he will end with nothing, since he gave nothing to anyone, finally commenting that dying alone sure is pathetic. As Zenitsu awakens in a land full of red spider lilies and sees his master Jigoro across a river that separates the two, Zenitsu breaks down in front of him, crying in remorse and regret for not being able to save Kaigaku and being unable to become a Hashira prior to his death. As Zenitsu struggles with being caught by the lilies, he realizes that Jigoro hasn't said anything to him. And Jigoro breaks his silence by calling out Zenitsu's name, and with tearful eyes he proclaims that Zenitsu is his pride and joy. In reality, Zenitsu is being parched up by Yushiro while being guarded by Murata and another demon slayer. Murata realizes he remembers Zenitsu and calls out, hoping for his survival, leading Yushiro to tell him to shut up.